Standing here in Falkirk, Scotland, you are looking at one of the most remarkable pieces of engineering in the world, the Falkirk Wheel. At first glance, it may look like a giant piece of modern artwork. But this enormous structure has a very important purpose. It was designed to move boats from one canal to another, even though the two waterways are separated by a height of about 35 meters. What makes the Falkirk Wheel so special is that it doesn't work like a traditional canal lock. Instead, the entire structure rotates, carrying boats inside two large water-filled gondolas. As one gondola moves downward, the other moves upward. And because the two sides are carefully balanced, the wheel can move these huge loads with surprisingly little energy. Before the Falkirk Wheel was built, traveling between these two canals was a much more difficult journey. 11 locks were once needed to connect the different water levels, requiring boats to pass through 44 lock gates. The process could take most of a day. The Falkirk Wheel changed all of that, creating a much faster and more efficient connection between the two canals. The wheel opened in 2002 as part of the Millennium Link project, which restored the historic connection between the Forth Clyde Canal and the Union Canal. The canals themselves had declined after the rise of railways and eventually closed. The restoration brought them back to life, and the Falkirk Wheel became the centerpiece of this remarkable transformation. Now let's look at how this giant machine actually works. A boat enters one of the gondolas, which is filled with water. Gates are then secured, and the wheel begins its slow rotation. The gondola carrying the boat moves upward while the gondola on the opposite side moves downward. The boats remain level because the gondolas are designed to stay balanced throughout the movement. And this is what makes the design so fascinating. The Falkirk Wheel weighs around 1,800 tons, yet its movement is remarkably efficient. According to Scottish Canals, one complete rotation uses only about 1.5 kilowatt-hours of electricity. The wheel combines enormous strength with precision engineering, allowing boats to rise into the air smoothly and safely. From the ground, it is easy to appreciate just how massive this structure really is. At around 35 meters tall, it is roughly the height of 8 double-decker buses stacked on top of one another. But despite its size, the wheel moves with a calm and almost graceful motion, turning a huge engineering challenge into something that looks surprisingly simple. But there is another fascinating part of the Falkirk Wheel that is easy to miss when you are simply watching it from the outside. The structure was designed not only to solve a transportation problem, but also to create a landmark that would attract people and showcase what modern engineering could achieve. As the wheel turns, enormous amounts of water and the weight of the boats are being moved together. Yet the carefully balanced design means that the motors do not have to fight against the full weight of the structure. Instead, the system works with balance, allowing the massive wheel to rotate smoothly. For the people traveling through it, the experience is quite different from passing through an ordinary canal lock. Instead of gradually moving through a series of gates, passengers are lifted high into the air as the entire gondola rotates. From the top, visitors can enjoy a completely different view of the surrounding landscape. The canals, countryside, and engineering structures come together to create a remarkable scene. And perhaps that is the greatest achievement of the Falkirk Wheel. It took an old problem, how to connect two canals at different heights, and solved it in a way that is practical, efficient, and visually spectacular. More than 2 decades after it opened, the Falkirk Wheel continues to demonstrate the power of creative engineering. It is not simply a machine that moves boats from one level to another. It is a symbol of innovation, a piece of living history, and one of Scotland's most unforgettable landmarks. And as we watch it complete its journey, it is easy to understand why the Falkirk Wheel has become such an important part of Scotland's engineering story. Today, the Falkirk Wheel is more than just a working boat lift. It has become one of Scotland's most famous engineering landmarks and attracts visitors from around the world. It is a perfect example of how engineering can preserve history while creating something new for the future. The Falkirk Wheel doesn't just lift boats, it connects canals, communities, history, and people. And that is what makes this incredible structure truly worth seeing.